can get with this, cause this is where it's at. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that.
Welcome everyone to This Is It. I'm Corey Roy, and we are back here with episode 3 of Miss Marvel. I loved it, but I don't know how these guys felt. So that's why you guys are joining us. So we're going to get a review and a recap. That's my man, Hollywood DA. What's going on, brother?
Not much, chilling. Miss Marvel, the show is marvelous. It's marvelous, man. I love it.
That was good. Original. Phenom. What's going on, brother?
Phenom 202, DDA representative. Yo, man, this show is fire, yo. I feel like a 16-year-old Indian girl when I watch this, man. You know what I'm saying? I see through her eyes, yo. So
that's what's up.
Don't cancel me. That's the words of Phenom 202's there, Pakistan.
I said. Oh, I was talking about Partition. My bad. She is Pakistani. I was reading about the Partition earlier and how that whole thing was. So got my countries mixed up, but Pakistani, I'm good.
And last but not least, joining us, again, Cola. Thank you so much. How you doing?
Outstanding, sir. Thank you for asking. But no, I love the show. I love Miss Marvel, and almost anything Marvel I love. But this is super cute. I just enjoy every bit of it. Basically.
Yeah. So Phenom, I'm going to go with you, then Ali, and then Cola. Just give me your overall thoughts of this show so far, because we're 3 episodes in. So what are your overall thoughts of this show, including this episode?
I think the show is really good. I think they set up a good backstory for Kamala Khan, her everyday interactions, her starting to figure things out. I like how we always talk about how they incorporate the diversity, showing what the Muslim culture looks like, and just, finding out her history and finding out what the bangle is about, and then getting that plot twist that everybody ain't who they seem to be, yo.
Yeah, that's no doubt. I was going to go to Ali, but he looked a little busy. So I'm going to go to Cola right now. Cola, give me your overall thoughts on this show so far, now that we're 3 episodes in.
The show overall, like I said, I love it. I love the interaction of the animation into the show and how they incorporate all that, within the actual backgrounds. You'll see a light that has the text messages on it, and how she's feeling, that be a little cartoon on the side, it gives you that happy-go-lucky teenager feel, and like Phenom says, it kind of puts you into it as if you're an adolescent yourself, doing all this all over again yourself. So I love it.
Yeah. I'm going to just chime right on. I love this show. I think it's just so cute and so fun. And Iman Vellani is owning this role as Kamala Khan. I mean, she's just has this entertaining energy. It's just infectious. And also getting her life in this origin story with her family, her friends. So getting that taste of the culture and her life as a Pakistan American teenager in New Jersey. I think that's just phenomenal. I mean, and you're getting all of that. And like you're saying, the energy is there and it makes you feel like you're a teenager all over again, just looking at the world through her eyes. I love it. I love it. Ali, man, what are your thoughts on this show now that we're through episodes?
I mean, basically, just mirroring what all y'all said. I mean, it's definitely a good show. I just like the way it looks. It's vibrant, keeps me happy. I watch it, I have a smile on my face. It's got a nice little comedy in there, a little bit of action, everything you want and need, in a TV show. So, I mean, it's definitely doing a job for me.
Yeah, no doubt. So look, there's a lot that happens in this episode, but there's really 2 major pieces of things that happen in this episode, and a lot of small tidbits that are sprinkled throughout. So the 2 major things that happen, and I'm going to go with the first one, is the partition. So basically this starts off right at this episode. We're in 1942, and it turns out that Kamala Khan's great grandmother Aisha was some clandestine leader And she and I said his name wrong the last episode. Is Kamran. Okay, I said Cameron, but Kamran's mother is actually with her at the time, and they discover that this bangle in a cave in India that they sought out during the partition, and they're trying to get to this bangle so they can basically get out of this world in this dimension. And supposedly this bangle can help them go back to wherever they're supposed to. Then they explain all of this to Kamala, and Kamala starts to actually find out that she's not quite human, that she is part of a descendant of what they are. And this bangle has unlocked that power, and they were able to find her once she put this on. So I'm going to kind of stop right there, because then there's little tidbits of information before it gets into other parts of the episode. But I'm going to go with you, Cola, because I've been starting off with the fellas at first. Just what are your overall thoughts of this whole beginning sequence here?
Well, I kind of appreciated it because I was a little lost as to who that older woman was. I thought that was her great grandmother. So when she was in the back of the car in the last episode, I'm over here like, oh, her great grandmother's still alive, and she just pops up like,
right.
You know. So with this one, when they're actually like explaining that she was a friend or of her great grandmother and showing the actual scene where they, parted ways or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, but before in the last episode, she had that vision of her and everything else. So I thought that was her great grandmother.
I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking the same thing too. Ali, what about you about this whole beginning?
It was good, man. Definitely give the backstory. Let's learn a little bit more about this bracelet and where Kamala's powers are coming from, and explain a little about the grandmother, because the great grandmother, because right now she's, even though we still got a little bit, but still a mystery where she went, why she disappeared. Nobody knows where what happened, because even Cameron. Well, I'm not still, man. What's it, Cameron? I'm not.
It's Kamran. So the A is like on. Kamran.
Yeah, I'll take the hate on this, because I'm like, I know, I just know about Cameron, horse and buggy. His mom didn't even know what happened, because she even said, like, when they were talking, it's like she just like with the partition, everything was going on.
Yeah, they went their separate ways.
They went their separate ways, got caught up. So they explained a lot, but the mystery's still there. So, and I'm sure we're gonna find out sooner or later. Hopefully.
Yeah. Phenom, what about you, brother?
I definitely like the backstory. I like the context of everything. I did some research on. I kind of did myself a disservice, because when she said she was a clandestine, I looked it up on Wikipedia, and it gave away the episode 2. I was like, God damn it, I'm never gonna read ahead again, yo. Because this is a show I like. There's some shows I really don't care about, so I go to Wiki and read along and watch it. But I really sit there and just watch this show. It's that good. You know what I mean? I love how they set up everything. And the backstory give us everything we needed to make the episode flow. So
yeah.
But I mean, I will say that I was again a little lost too, because like these two are supposed to be best friends, the great grandmother and this chick, right? They're supposed to be best friends, but she didn't know that she had a family up until Kamala put on the bangle. So I was a little lost there too. Like, okay, so did the family come after they parted ways or what? Because I don't know. It seemed like, according to the family, they lost her after they parted ways. So how did she not know that she had a family?
She must have been keeping it on the side.
I guess
it must have been. That's true.
That was all around the same time. Because, I mean, she had the family because
the family got away.
They got it on the train, so she must have been hiding it from the other ones.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Like how if they're supposed to be best friends, and why?
That's a good question. I mean, we're probably going to find out about it in the next episode, because, she talks to her grandmother, and of course her grandmother wants her to come meet her because she sees the vision later on as well. But it really, maybe, Aisha, which is her great grandmother, knew something about her, like that friend that you handle with a long handle spoon, because you can trust them only to a certain extent, because there's something about them you don't like. So she might have kept that family a secret from her because she knew that there was always something about her that she distrusted. Maybe that was why she wanted to grab that bangle so quickly from her when they found it in the tomb. Like, as soon as she found it, she really quickly ran over. Was like, let me see it. Can I get it? Like,
Okay, peace out. I'm going this way.
I mean, so it's really interesting. I love the backstory, though. I love the fact that they provided this to us so we could get more information, because at this moment, just watching this series, if you haven't read the comics, you don't know why she's getting these powers. You're thinking it's from the bangle or the bracelet, but it is not. In the comics, she is considered what you would say, she's not human in the comics, but she has no idea what she is. And eventually she is infected. No, I'm not going to say that. Eventually she comes in contact with a mist in the comics that brings these powers out in her that she's always had dormant, because she's considered a inhuman, so to speak. So they tap on that in this episode, but they call it something totally different. So they're called the Jinn in this episode, but as she says, they're called so many other things. And Kamala is accepting all this and trying to process it, like, yo, this is way too much information. But I really did love it, because of course, when it's a lot of information, who does she go to? She goes to Bruno. Bruno knows it all.
Bruno in the friend zone.
Bruno in the friend zone. So
we don't talk about Bruno.
No. We don't talk about Bruno.
Now you're gonna have that song stuck in my head for another week. Thanks.
So, let's talk about Bruno a little bit, and then we'll get into the wedding, which is the second part. What do you guys' this whole thing about Bruno? Because Bruno eventually in this scene, when she goes to Bruno and tells him about what happens, he says he's going to help her, but he eventually tells her, look, I'm going to go to Caltech. But Bruno is clearly still in this love triangle, because you see the situation that happens at the wedding. So what are your whole thoughts about Bruno in these episodes?
Bruno needs to just step up, man. It is what it is. He needs to just step up, man. So obviously they got feelings for each other, even though she has a little crush on Cameron. Yeah, I'll let you just. Everybody knows. I mean, she got the history with Bruno. Like Bruno, she's fighting to all the events. Bruno's intertwined with the family. Bruno out here getting crazy scholarships, selling cigarettes and Mad Dog 2020 how are you in high school, like working the local bodega at night?
Like closing the shop.
Well, he lives there, so I'm thinking like maybe his family owns the store or something.
Yeah. We don't see his peoples though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you don't, but I mean he lives right above the market.
That's very true. I didn't think about that.
So just in general though, Bruno just needs to step on up, man. Just say what it is. Now I like Bruno as a character though. He's funny. I mean, in his own way.
Yeah, me too. Cola, what about you about Bruno?
Oh, same. I mean, I love the fact that he kind of integrated himself in the family, like he's best friends with the dad, with the whole technology thing, loves up on the mom, just a little bit of everything. Like everybody in the family knows him. He knows all the dance moves, love it.
Yeah, no doubt. Phenom, man, what about you? Him, telling her you're going to Caltech, but him being in this love triangle with Kamran, what's up with Bruno?
Bruno, I mean, he's a loyal friend. Because even he did research for. He went and got those papers in a different language, and Kamala's dad comes in there and translates it to another version of the Jinn.
Yeah.
So he was able to convey that. You know what I'm saying? So he's trying to help her out as much as possible. And he's like, yo, you can get hurt if you do it too fast. So we need to slow down, take our time. Let's make sure we got the right calculations. So, he's a good dude. And he's like, when he says he's going to Caltech, he really wants to be like, for her to say, don't go, stay with me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, but she's like, go, whatever. But he said, I can't go unless I'll make sure you're straight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Bruno, you guys tap on that, and that is very strong pivotal point in the comics. In the comics, Bruno has been friends with Kamala since the second grade. So they are very tight. They are very close. The reason why he's integrated with the family so much is because he's been friends with Kamala since the second grade. He's almost like this extension of family to Kamala and her family. Yeah. But Bruno lives a tough life. I take that back. Bruno lives a life where he's not well off in New Jersey. So in the comics, they do a lot to help him out because he struggles and stuff like that. So in the first episode, when Bruno, how they're always inviting Bruno over to eat and they have food ready for Bruno. Those are the things that they're doing in the comics because they know he's struggling. But he doesn't say that, but the parents have that so much love for Bruno. Like they won't say, they're like, look, come get yourself something to eat. Here's some food for you and your family, blah, 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 blah. Because that's how it is in the comics. But he's a good dude, very smart, and he's very loyal. There is a love triangle going on now, but in the comics, because I've been doing more reading since this, I've already read a lot of stuff, but he does eventually have a relationship.
Oh yeah, I mean, you already know that's set up.
Yeah, that's gonna come. Yeah,
it's coming.
But it's not with Kamala. It is with another person in the high school. So I don't know if they'll integrate that later. And then there'll be a love triangle between Kamala, the new girl he's seeing, and then Bruno. If that will be something he'll transition over. So it'll be interesting to see.
But I mean, can you really call it a love triangle if, like, you know, they're not really dating or anything? You know?
Yeah, it's not love.
Because I mean, there's interest there, but Kamala's like not like, it's like a friend interest to her, but it's a love interest to him. So you can't really call it a triangle.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point. So Bruno, as he is, he's so smart. Kamala comes to him with the information. As you said, Phenom, he's working all the numbers. He's trying to figure this stuff out. And he basically comes to Kamala and is like, look, we can do it, maybe, but it's just way too dangerous to make this happen right now. And it'll put anybody and everybody in jeopardy. So Kamala then tells Kamran about it, that it's just way too dangerous right now. Then eventually Kamran's mom finds out. She's not happy, which this is when the story flipped to me. I was like, well, where did this come from?
Yeah,
that was
escalated very quickly.
Yeah.
At the beginning of this joint, they were explaining everything to her.
Yeah. Laughing, joking, looking at TikToks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But man, he's been around 100 years. He's still looking at TikToks. You know, everything's all... It escalated quick. It went from 0 to 100 real quick. You know what I mean?
It really did. It really did. And immediately right then, she's like not happy and they go on the hunt for Kamala because she got to do it. It ain't even a question right now. So, of course, now we're at the wedding and, you know, everybody's having a good time and it's the dance sequence, you know. Go ahead, Ollie.
No, I just want to say, like, I will say that's probably my little one hiccup on this, why it escalated so quick. I was like, y'all been waiting 100 years.
And I was wondering the same thing.
She's already on your side, like, because she wants to help them.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all could have just talked to her for a couple more.
It could have been another episode, maybe.
Right. Was it like a time frame, like a celestial pattern that had to be in the sky or something? Halley's Comet?
Yeah.
Like,
but I was like, why they...
That's a good point.
I mean, I know 100 years, you like, yo, if we got her, like, let's go ahead and do it. But at the same time, it's like, it's been 100 years, yo, just wait 2 more weeks. Like, y'all could have talked her into it. Because whether it was dangerous or not, she was already kind of on your side. Y'all could just smoothed it over, like, yeah, it ain't gonna be that bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she would probably do it for your peoples. I'm like, do it for your grandma. Like, do it for your great grandma. I was just, you know, she would have did it. Like, why they have to go from this to like, yo, we about to go fuck up everything?
right. Like, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, for real.
That's a good point. That's a real good point. I mean, I thought that too. When I was watching this, I'm thinking she's befriending them. She's fixing pies and cakes. I mean, practically, she's like, sit down, take a nap, sleep, put your feet up.
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden, because she reads this text message where they can't do it today, all of a sudden she's like, oh, F this girl, yo. She's on the kill list. She's on America's Most Wanted now. And I'm like, where did this come from? Yeah. But you're right. She's a teenager. They could have easily persuaded her in a couple of days to change her mind. So,
and even the son was like, I don't know what the rush is. Like, you know, like, just calm down. Like, give it a minute.
That was the only thing I was kind of like, okay.
I will admit, no lie. That was probably the only piece of this that I was like, yeah, that's a little bit forced. But you know, I'm sure we understand why, because budget cuts. They're like, look, let's just get to it because we need to get the story moving. But yeah, that was pretty abrupt. So then, you know, now we're at the wedding. I mean, let's just talk about the wedding in general, man. What did y'all all thoughts about the wedding? Cola, man, what was your whole thoughts about the wedding, the dance sequence?
Up in that mix,
I love those dance sequences, man. I was like, hey, I can't dance, but I would try in my seat, you know. But you know, one thing but one thing I do wonder though, and really this has nothing to do with the show altogether, but just like the fiance or like now the wife, right? The whole time she was dressed in, you know, in the Muslim garbs and stuff like that. But I noticed nobody in her family was. So I'm wondering if she converted for him
I think that's the only
what?
way they can marry outside their religion.
Well,
Ooh, that's a good point.
well, it's hard.
Yeah, I was wondering that.
Yeah, I don't know if she converted for him or not, but she's definitely she's definitely black. You know?
Well, yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
she's
mean, she's
definitely
definitely black, but like nobody else had a hijab on. Nobody else,
Yeah.
was dressed modestly. Like, I swore her mom was even like, the clandestine,
Yeah.
her fucking dress or whatever. You know what I'm
Go
saying?
back and watch it, boy. I got a little fatty. Let's go.
Yeah, so I was over here like, okay, so did she convert, or what?
That's a good question.
It just made it interesting for me.
I mean, it is very interesting because I'm going to say that she did not convert for him. Me personally, I feel that she chose to be a Muslim and follow, and study the book of Quran and all that stuff. And in that process, she meets him.
Quran.
Of course, the Quran. I'm sorry, I said the Quran.
Quran, look, Cameron.
Yeah.
I said Cameron. You like Cameron?
Yeah. So in studying the Quran, so that's what I think happened and that was her decision. So that's her religion. And then she meets Kamala's brother, and then they get married. But her family still practice Christianity, so they still doing their thing, but they joining in the festivity. And I love that, just seeing the black family and the Pakistan and this was just awesome, man. I loved every bit of it. And you can't have a wedding without a dance sequence. Yo, I loved it.
But like the Bollywood dance moves, I know that's probably not what it's called, but that's all what I associate, that dance move with.
Yes.
Like I loved it.
Yeah. What about you, Phenom? What did you
mean, they're very intentional about, like I said, the Muslim culture, like having depicting what a wedding looks like. You know what I mean? It didn't seem like it did. I mean, obviously it's still Disney. It's still kind of a caricature of it, but it was fun. You know what I'm saying? Everybody had a part in the wedding. Everybody danced. You know, it seems like the parents, either they was paying attention, black people, they pick up dance movies. They can watch somebody. They can jump in the line and line dance and pick it up just like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. But no, I mean,
even Bruno was on the dance floor though.
Yeah,
he was.
I like how they did that because it was first it seemed like it was a surprise to him and her.
Yeah.
And the mama and the daddy, I was like, all right. And then they had everybody come out, but then even they was like, yo, he jumped in it too. She was like, oh,
Yeah.
So
I love that too.
Nothing's better than a wedding. Anybody knows I love montages. I love weddings. Are like some of the funnest shit ever. It's like a day where everybody's just happy.
Yeah.
Music is playing. Get some good food, some little drinks, and everything. Wedding. When I see shit on TV where people be upset at weddings and mad, like family, I'm like, yo, it's a motherfucking wedding, yo.
How you mad? How you mad, bro?
It's so different, man. When I look at our pictures from my wedding, everybody got their tie tied around their head, shirts open. Mike was out his shirt, you know what I'm saying, showing the white beater, And that's what I said, like Ollie's so right, man. It's supposed to be a festive. You're supposed to lay it. Let your hair down, just have a good time, just celebrate. Yeah, it's nothing like a wedding, man.
Yeah. I don't have anything to say except I loved every minute of it. Just the incorporating of the wedding and seeing the culture that they're bringing in to make us from the audience understand what it is like at that type of wedding in that culture. Yeah, she's a Pakistan and a Muslim. And I love that because there was a moment where they're explaining why they're touching their heads and why people are coming up. And I would have never known that. And I like, give me that. I love that because when I eventually see Wakanda Forever on the Disney Plus series, I know they're going to incorporate some things from the Black culture that I know he's going to bring to the forefront, and I'm going to appreciate that as a viewer. So I know there's a lot of people in the brown culture, Muslims, Pakistans, whatever, that I really appreciate what they brought into this episode. Go ahead, Alan.
No, and I was just going to say how you were talking about the cultures coming together. But that's definitely good to see because people don't hate each other for real. Well, I didn't just say for real. And it's certain factions of people out there, but in general, most people. Maybe I'm optimistic. Just out here living life, having a good time. You do. I do me. You know what I'm saying? We have, and I've been to a multicultural wedding. I mean, Phenom has to. One of our good friends. I ain't gonna put all his business out there because we're on the YouTubes. But he's Vietnamese. His wife is black. They came together. Like she had the traditional dress on when they got married. When it came to reception, she switched into like the Vietnamese, like
ensemble. Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome.
And I talked to my boy. Actually, I was there not for the black girl, but for the Vietnamese guy. Like that's why I was talking to him later. He was talking about like how much his mom like appreciated that she switched up the dress for the reception. You know what I mean?
It was a surprise.
It was a surprise. She didn't know she was gonna do that.
Yeah.
So how much the family loved, his side of the family loved that she switched it up. And then we went from that we did like a little traditional Vietnamese ceremony outside, like afterwards. So like just seeing cultures come together, it's everybody loves everybody, man.
It's dope, man.
It's dope.
But the other thing that I loved about the wedding was that when they said their vows, they said, do you 3 times.
Make sure
Yes.
I love that, so it's like the first time, it's a little comical. The second time, like, okay, a little bit more serious. The third time, okay, definitely. Like, so you get 3 outs, you know what I'm saying? 3 chances for 3 outs.
That is so true. I didn't pick up on that, Cole, and that was really, they did do it 3 times. Yeah, to each one. So yeah, that was good. So yeah, clearly we all enjoyed that wedding sequence. So the wedding sequence is happening. Kamala gets a call from Kamran about his mother's intentions. So she runs out, she pulls an alarm right away, and all of a sudden Kamran's mother and all of her crew crash her brother's wedding.
Literally.
They literally crashed her brother's wedding. You kind of have somewhat of a fight sequence going on, but really Kamala is using her powers, but she's trying to just get away from them. And then after they're going after her, right when she is cornered, the DODC arrives and arrests the Jinn. And that's pretty much kind of where that situation ends. Kamala and Bruno run out at that particular time, and that's when you run into Nakia, and Nakia is a little upset that she starts to find out that possibly Kamala is the girl that she is not very happy about. When she find out a little, bright light.
She saw her do the joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, she saw her do it. So I'll start off with you, Phenom, on your thoughts on this whole sequence of Kamran's mom and the crew crashing the wedding and the fight sequence that ensued there, and then the DODC arriving, and even the folks, Nakia, finding out at the end that this is Nightlight.
So I had 3 problems, and they're minor problems, but they're 3 problems. Kamran gets over to the wedding fast before everybody got ready to warn him. Know what I mean? She pulls the fire alarm. Everybody leaves, so she doesn't leave. She stays and fights everybody. The third problem is how she know martial arts that fast, yo. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing.
You know martial arts?
Yeah, I was about to say
She was flipping and then rolling and all.
No, she was just running.
She was falling and running and tripping.
If you go back and look at it, her ass was,
I watched it twice.
it was abnormally athletic, yo, and I didn't like it, yo.
I mean, she is a superhero.
She felt really well.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
On this one, brother. She definitely did.
She was. Look, she's the same woman that gets hit in the face and gym with a dodgeball every week. Yo, know what I'm saying? So now she's that athletically inclined.
She was tripping and falling.
I don't see.
No clumsiness, yo. Them trips and falls went into.
The only thing she did the one Superman punch one time. Like she punched everybody, but that was just out of
that was instinct. She didn't even realize she did it.
I think they were about to get Bruno or something.
Yeah.
And that was just like a
right.
And she didn't know what she was doing when she did.
No, otherwise she would have kept doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not see any athletic. She was not martial arts nowhere.
I'm telling you, man, you go back and look at it, you're like, oh, that tuck and roll was
oh
point,
my
yo.
gosh. No, because I was actually gonna say, like, I actually like the fact that she couldn't fight. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like she just got her powers. Like with these other, movies and shows, it seems like everybody already knows how to fight by the time they get the powers, even though they're nerds and, everything else, so it was nice to see that she didn't know how to fight and she was just basically blocking the whole time and falling and trying to get out the way. So like most of it was just blocking.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly how I felt, man. She was she was defending herself.
Just like, like, and
Yeah.
it was almost all of the joints came out almost out of
Yeah.
just like instinct. It wasn't even like she was like, doo, doo, doo. It was just like, oh, I'm about to get hit.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah, and I like that because you're right. The majority of the time in these movies, we're always catching the superhero when they already know how to fight. We never really get to see them learn how to be good. So to see her clumsy, not quite knowing how to use her powers, getting hit, blocking herself instinctively, she was hiding the majority of the time because she didn't know what to do. I mean, she really didn't know what to do. And even at
jump, man, you're supposed to run against 4-1, you know?
Well, yeah, but that's the whole part of it. She's young. She's trying to understand her powers. She didn't know what to do. Even when she got cornered, she had no instinct. Like, okay, y'all ready to go? She was like, oh shit, I'm done. Like the DOD seal rise at that moment. But I love the fact I didn't see no martial arts. If I saw anything, it was a scared teenager trying to get out the way. That's what I saw.
Yeah,
Y'all need y'all vision check.
I do want to give a shout out to Pootie Tang, yo. My boy can't.
With the belt.
That was a long, big ass belt, yo.
As soon as he was like, side-eye Tang.
I was like, that's the most random weapon. Everybody else got like knives and like an axe, and he's like, yeah, let me take this belt off. Whip some ass.
That was crazy, yo. Like when he kept using that, like he was good with it too, and it got longer and longer the more he kept using it. Oh yeah, he must have saw that movie. Pootie Tang was like, you know what? I like that weapon. I want to take my belt off and make it real long. That was a random weapon, yo. Let's go to this Bango. So she sees the vision, she sees the train, and immediately she gets a call from a grandmother. I think that's who it is. And her grandmother says that she saw the train too of the vision, and she's calling her to Karachi. So it looks like we're off to Pakistan. That's where the episode ends. Yeah. So I don't know. I was kind of wondering, how did the grandmother see it too? So
that's what I was wondering. So like, I was wondering because in the beginning, they said that there are 2 bangles and they couldn't find the other bangle, you know? So I was wondering, like, does she have the other bangle, which is the reason why, you know?
Oh my gosh. That
makes
perfect sense. It could very well be, because how is she seeing the same vision that Kamala saw, unless she has the other bangle? Ooh.
I mean, unless somehow there's like some kind of connection, but then wouldn't the mother see it too? You know, if that was the case. So
yeah, I didn't think about that. Why is she just the only one seeing it? Very interesting. What did you guys thoughts about this, man? Phenom, what are your thoughts about this closing?
Wow, that kind of threw a wrench into my thought process. But I just thought the grandmother knows more than she's leading on, because I think a lot of people in the family know the real history about the grandmother. Like, at first I was like, maybe they thought she's her great grandmother. Maybe they thought she was bad because she left the family, she, like abandoned the family, or they really know what her story is. So I think getting to Pakistan, they might find out what the deal is.
Yeah,
you know what I
mean?
It
definitely looks like we're off to Pakistan in the next episode, or maybe the next episode. But Ali, what are your whole thoughts about this, man?
I really hope we do go to Pakistan, because I think that'll be fun. I think that the grandma does know more than what she's leading on to.
Yeah,
Bangle, that's a good one.
Yeah, Cole, that was a good one.
Of the Bangle, but I do believe even if she doesn't have it, I think she knows more, because as everybody else seems to be shaming the great grandmother for leaving and this and that, but the grandma doesn't seem to have any hate in her blood for the grandma. And the fact that she saw the vision, like maybe she saw something with the, with the great grandma came to her maybe before she dipped out or whatever. But and just the fact, even with Kamala's mom doesn't get along with the grandma, and I think a lot of this probably has to do with the great grandma, the quote unquote name.
You're right.
And the great grandma, the grandma's claiming her. Like I don't know. Have they said Kamala's grandma's name? Because there's so many.
Nani, I think that's what they said. They just said her name Nani or something like that. But that's probably just what she calls grandmothers. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I don't think that's her name. But like you said, it's probably like for grandma.
Yeah,
mama. It's Big Mama. It's Pakistan Big Mama.
There you go.
So Big Mama probably knows more than the rest of the family, and that's why Big Mama doesn't seem like she's upset with the great grandma.
Yeah, because really that's her mom.
Yeah.
So she knows probably more about what happened to her mom than anybody else, and that's why she's not upset about it. What I need to do is I need to go back to the first episode to figure out who sent the bracelet to the house. Like,
Oh, the grandmother did.
The grandmother did.
Okay.
The grandmother did.
So clearly the grandmother knows more, and now we have to figure out why does she send that bracelet to the house? You know, it's definitely for a reason.
Well, according to the mother, like she sends random trinkets over every so often. So like, you know, she just randomly will send like, you know, like a phone and like some books and just like send it over, you know, so it wasn't like I guess like an extremely random thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's a random thing, but it's a kind of like a known random thing, like, oh, like she just does that sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
But I did wonder, like, why did she send the bangle, you know, in the first place? And then like, especially without a note or anything else along with it, you know?
Interesting. It hopefully in this next episode we'll get more explanation, but I can definitely say I love everything about this because this series is an origin story. It's a long origin story, and I'm all here for it because, as I said, it's cute, it's fun, it's entertaining. It made me feel like I'm a teenager, and I love everything about it. I love that she's making mistakes. I love that she has crushes. I love the music. I love the artistic vision, the cinematography. Oh, man. The music is off the chain in this. I can't wait to get this soundtrack. Yes.
Jersey, Bon Jovi.
Yeah, you know, Dad love Bon Jovi too. Like Dad and the mama they both love Bon Jovi.
Yeah. So what was the name of the
Brown
band?
Jovies.
The
Brown
Brown
Jovi.
Jovies.
Yeah, they say
We do bar mitzvahs.
Quinceañeras.
Mexican joints. So it's like, you name it, we got it. You know, we showers. We don't.
That was good. But anyway, we're going to end this episode right here and just cap this off. I think everybody can agree this is a great series, so we don't really have to go around the horn because it seems like it's a thumbs up for everybody. I'm Corey Roy. That's Hollywood DA. That's Phenom 202. And before we end this off, we'd like to give a shout out and a thank you to the lovely Cola for joining us again on this review. Cola, please tell everybody where they can find you.
I'm on Instagram, Coca-Cola, KOKA_QOLA.
All right.
And that's it. Bringing that big auntie energy every single time.
There you go. Well, as I said, everybody, thank you for on this review. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Please be safe out there. And we're on that road to 5K. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll be right back here with you next week with another review. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
I think you'll get with this, because this is where it's at. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this,
I think the
or you
mother
can get with that. You can get with this,
about
or you
that
can get
angle.
with that. I think you'll get with this, because this is where it's at.